Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And for the contract case review assignment, I am Sirajuddin, joined by brother Nick Muhammad IKMAL. And today our case is regarding Popular Industries Limited versus Garment Manufacturing Sirajuddin Berhad, 1989, 3 MLJ 360. And the summary of the case will be provided by brother Nick IKMAL.
Thank you, Brother Sirajuddin, for presenting the introduction. Okay, this is my turn to present the summary of the case of Popular Industries Limited and Eastern Garment Manufacturing Sdn Bhd 1989 3 MLJ 360. Okay, the summary of the case is Popular Industries Limited, or we can call it the plaintiff, a Canadian company entered into a contract with Eastern Garment Manufacturing Sdn Bhd, which is the defendant, based in Penang, Malaysia, for the supply of garment. The agreement stipulated that the goods were to be delivered between January and June 1980. The plaintiff claimed that the defendant failed to deliver the goods according to the contract, causing significant financial losses. Next is the chronology of the case. As you can see in the slide, we divide it to 4 parts, which are part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. Okay, the part 1 is the plaintiff and the defendant entered into a contract for delivery of garment. Next is part 2. The defendant did not deliver the garment within the stipulated time frame. And next, part 3 is the plaintiff claim damages for the losses incurred due to the non-delivery. Lastly is part 4. The court found in favour of the plaintiff, affirming that the defendant had indeed breached the contract by failing to deliver the goods as agreed. In this case, the party involved are Popular Industries Limited, which is the plaintiff, and the defendant is Eastern Garment Manufacturing Sdn Bhd. And after that, we go to the issues of the case. The first issue is whether the defendant breached the contract by failing to deliver the goods on time. And the second one is whether the quantity of damages that the plaintiff is entitled to for the breach is claimable. For the first issue, these are the plaintiff's arguments. The defendant's failure to deliver the goods as per the contractual schedules constitute a clear breach of contract. The plaintiff claimed damages amounting to $708,708.74 USD, which convert to Malaysian ringgit 3,336,093.07, representing the average loss of profits on the resale of the garments, calculated as 32% of the landed value of the garments. The plaintiff argued that the loss was a direct consequence of the defendant's breach, and they provide calculations to support their claim for damages. As you can see, these are the details of the claim damages, which is the total landed value US is 2,214,714.82, and after the average profit on selling, which is we cut it to 32%, and the total decreased to 708,708.74 USD. And the plaintiff also argued the port of destination of the good was Montreal, Canada. Both Mr. and Mrs. Siegel had testified without challenge or contradiction that they could not obtain the goods in Canada as there was no market there for the same, nor could they have obtained the goods anywhere else as their quota had been exhausted. And next, we go to the defendant's argument on the second issues. The defendant acknowledged the delay but disputed the amount of damages claimed by the plaintiff. They argued that the plaintiff did not provide sufficient evidence to substantiate the claim amount of damages. The defendant contended that the claim loss of profit was speculative and not adequately proven. The defendant also argued in all circumstances, reason and justice point to the inevitable conclusion that although the plaintiff had shown the fact of damage, no evidence or no sufficient evidence has been adduced as to its amount, with the perhaps unfortunate result that it is virtually impossible to assess damages.
In regards to the ruling and the ratio decidandi that is provided by this case, the courts had reasoned based on the principle that was breach of contract that was evident by the defendant, yet the burden of proof for the amount of damages lies within the plaintiff. So the plaintiff had to provide further analysis and proof of which the breach had been conducted, in which how much the damage was accrued and the quantity or quantum of the damages that had been accrued to them due to the negligence of the defendant of not delivering on time. And the plaintiff had to provide a further and more concrete evidence for it to support their claim of damage beyond the nominal amount that was quantified by the courts. The court emphasized the necessity for detailed and reliable evidence when claiming significant financial losses due to a breach of contract, amounting of almost $7 million, in which was the claimable amount that was stated. Hence, it was only given a nominal amount of only $500 only towards the case. So besides other than that, the facts and legal principles established was the affirmation on regards to non-delivery of the goods per contract terms constituted a breach, and the damages incurred due to the evidence of how much damage resulted from that said breach. The Contract Acts 1950, Section 74 provides two limbs in which a compensation become payable for an injured party, where one is naturally arose due to the usual course of things, and the contract breaker knew at the date of the contract the special circumstances of the other party, hence enabled to foresee that a breach is likely to cause more loss towards another party. And the cases that were referred to were Hadley v. Baxendale, the case which establishes the principle that damages must be foreseeable and directly related towards the breach. And another case that is to be referenced would be Victoria Laundry Windsor Limited versus Newman Industries Ltd. These cases emphasis on the claimants must prove the losses in which with reasonable certainty towards the case. So the analysis of the significance of this case was that the proof of the loss that was underscored, it was important to further make it more detailed towards in which the justices were to give a large amount towards the plaintiffs. Nonetheless, it asserted that the losses that was insufficient without any substantive proof is given that the defendant had made a late delivery and it caused a losses towards the plaintiff. Hence, what was reasoned was that it was held in the favor of the plaintiff. Nonetheless, that they were given nominal damages for their losses that had incurred. It was due to that they could not have the accounts and also the accounts and details and financial details of the defendants. Hence, it was not in proper detail and record. So the court ruled that if one were to make such a claim, it must be with proven evidence and must be proving that the liability of one's party to another. The comparison of these cases with the Popular Industries case would be the Hadley and Baxendale, where the foundation of the contract was towards the illustration that the damages must be foreseeable and proven. And both cases had proven that the importance of establishing a clear causal link. And in the Popular Industries case, in which the defendant did not send the items on time and thus incurred an issue of a matter of their own prestige and also the reputation of Popular Industries. So what caused the effect is that due to the late delivery and also due to that they were not able to produce it on time, and hence the damages that were claimed only towards the nominal amount. And Victoria Laundry and Windsor Ltd, to compare with the case, is the parallel in which the court limited Dama Sardana Berhad the foreseeable losses. The principle that claimants must be adequate demonstrate their losses to recover more than nominal damages is reinforced. Hence, to further increase and get a sizable amount, one must prove that the damages incurred were due to the causal link of the actions towards the defendant's part on their own negligence and not paying or not performing a specific duty on time. In increase and get a sizable amount, one must prove that the damages incurred were due to the causal link of the actions towards the defendant's part on their own negligence and not paying or not performing a specific duty on time. In the case of Popular Industries, they did not deliver the items on time. So the relevance and implications, the reason and justice point in the inevitable conclusion that although the plaintiffs had shown the fact of damage, no evidence or sufficient evidence was been adduced to the amount. Thus, only a certain amount of only $500 were awarded. So in the future and relevance and implications of the cases, the future contract disputes, they will take relevance for these business standards. If a courier were to be late, and also it would cause a financial loss, it must be proven that due to such tardiness, that it was the causal link of such damages towards the other party. And also, due to such tardiness and lateness in delivery of an item, we can further say that it is claimable due to only nominal damages as proven by the President of Popular Industries. But at the same time, if there is further analysis and proof of such a situation in which, due to such a tardiness, had caused such a massive ripple effect towards the financial losses to one company, it will be claimable only by the President of Popular Industries that there must be substantial proof and evidence as provided by Haxendale and also the previous case law of Windsor Ltd. So the legal strategy and future litigation is that there must be sizable and strong evidence to back up a claim of one's own damages that was incurring financial losses due to it. In conclusion, Popular Industries Ltd versus Eastern Government Manufacturing Sdn Bhd is a pivotal case in the contract law that enforces a key principle regarding breach of contract and the proof required for claiming damages. It serves as a critical reminder of the legal standards proving loss and the importance of detailed evidence in litigation. Thank you.